Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we go again, episode 74 of At Face Value. I'm Brian.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Will.
Super pumped to have you back again for another week. We are full on done with the regular season, except for the most exciting game of the year, Army and Navy, coming up this weekend. But getting ready for the college football playoff and bowl season. So we are rolling all into that. Plus, some other stuff's going on in the world right now. But I think we're full focused right now on what's been going on this weekend. So we'll get into all that. So thanks again for showing up, and let's get into it. So as we do every other week, what's up, Lucas?
I was gonna say Bowl Mania is also coming up. I saw that Brian, you've already kind of put the Facebook post out. So everybody join the Bowl Mania on ESPN. We'll kind of keep sending out links and stuff. But if we can get a lot of people to jump in, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll also
Still,
send out the final records as well for our pick 'em throughout the year. Come up with a little prize. We still have a couple
still,
people from last year, so
I was gonna say still working on those T-shirts.
yeah. We're in communication with Will's company currently to get all that printed, so it's in the
Dude, I've
works.
been I've
So,
been I've been learning how to sew. I've been like sewing each stitch
oh
on those
man,
T-shirts. So uh,
handcrafted.
that's right.
All right, well, let's get rolling. Let's start with the hugs and hikes. So, Lucas, you got a hug this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my hug to the Duke Blue Devils. I think we all know where this is going. They won their first ACC title in 50 something years. I don't even remember what the actual number was, but and just cause chaos, which is exactly what we're here for. Um, the ACC is in turmoil right now with kind of how things went down. It ended up being okay in the end, and we'll kind of touch on it. But congrats to the Blue Devils, man. Underdogs won me some money. I had the money line, number one. Number two, like, they honestly had nothing to play for other than, I mean, the ACC championship. So, like, to get up for the game as well as they did and to end up pulling it out, which it kind of got dicey towards the end. But congrats to the Duke Blue Devils for being the Atlantic Coast Conference champions. So, big shout out to them.
I'll
Typically,
say I wouldn't have guessed. I would say I wouldn't have guessed that they had any ACC championships. So, saying
I,
50 something years, that's a big accomplishment.
I think it's been a long time. And another hug is that was my dark horse to win the ACC. So, uh, good on them. So,
Nailed
yeah,
it.
exactly how I was thinking it was going to go down too.
Exactly. Yep. Everybody knew that 7-5 Duke was going to find a way into the ACC championship and beat Virginia. So,
That's how I predicted
Wh-
it did.
what a disgusting sentence. 7-5 Duke is gonna find their way, and they did everything to not make it. Like they kept going away, and then all of a sudden you look up and nope, Duke still has a path.
But
And
dude,
by
the
God, did they not end up there?
but the amount of people that were lobbying for them to get one of those spots in the playoff was wild.
I mean,
Imagine
honestly,
a
though,
five-loss team getting in.
I mean, yeah,
No,
but I mean, honestly, who would you rather watch right now, James Madison or Duke?
I think that's equivalent.
I mean, I'd almost
I
rather
mean,
watch Duke right now. I mean, I think they at least be able to be more competitive. I mean,
you know what, Brian? I
maybe
would
I'm
rather
wrong,
watch a
but
lot of teams that didn't make it.
that
I'd,
is true.
I'd, I'd
We'll,
rather
we'll
watch
get we'll get into all
Vanderbilt.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into all that though. So, what about you, Will? You got a hug?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a hug to a man by the name of Scott Dolson. Either of you fellows knew who Scott Dolson is?
Not a
Yes, I do.
clue.
He would be the man credited with hiring Kirk Cignnetti at Indiana University,
Mm,
Hmm.
which right now is looking like one of the greatest hires in college football history.
yeah.
Because for the team that just in the current season we are in got out of the cellar as statistically by wins and losses the worst college football program in the history of the sport,
Hmm.
just went 13-0 and won the Big Ten.
Wild.
It's an unbelievable
Unbelievable.
coaching job, unbelievable turnaround of the likes in my lifetime, guys. I don't know anybody that's ever done it. I mean, to take a program that was that bad and to be what now 20, 23, 24 and 2 uh in the playoffs. That's what the playoffs even last year. Like it's unbelievable. Or no, that's not including the playoffs, but still, unbelievable job, unbelievable hire. Can't say enough good things about Indiana. We'll break the game down later, but yeah, hug to Scott Dolson because I'm sure even he didn't think in a million years it was going to happen like this when he made that hire.
And
No.
at the end of the game, did you see how excited Signetti looked in his interview?
I did not. I did
Dude,
not.
he was like, yeah, it was a good game. We won. It was awesome. It's like he didn't care. He's like, I got the playoffs to take care of. Like
He he he
he's just
he comes
standing
from
on business, dude.
The Bill Belichick interview
Yes,
school.
absolutely. It was
I
awesome.
love the guys. I love the interviewers too in those post game because like their job is don't let go of the mic. And so Signetti's like full on. I don't know if y'all saw the press conference. He's like full on holding the mic, and that dude's just holding on with like everything that he's got, just trying not to let him have it. Like, I was just cracking. I love that dude. Like, because those coaches, they just want to take it and just go into it, and
Yeah.
those guys are just hanging on for dear life. Just cracks me up. Good for Signetti. Yeah, we'll get into the game, but yeah, that was a huge achievement for Indiana. So, my hook is going to go to Zach Ertz, sorry, tight end for Washington. Got an absolute brutal injury today. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it's
Mm-mm.
a equivalent. I'm sure. I don't know if y'all remember that Willis McGahee injury in the national championship back in '02 against
Miami or against
against Ohio
Ohio
State.
State. It was Ohio State, Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like his knee like completely went the other direction. He had an injury like that today where just his leg just flops, and just for a guy like that, storied career at his age, I mean, I'd be very surprised if he's able to make it back after all this. So yeah, just brutal injury for that guy. But yeah, so just kind of crazy. I mean, it's just one of those things. Just goes up for a pass, dude just goes low, shoulder pad to the knee, and just it's all she wrote. So
Yeah.
it's always tough to see stuff like that, especially for a player that has had a career like that. So yeah, hug to him. See where it
Um,
goes from here.
I'd like to give a second hug. I don't know if y'all saw the news about Jeff Kent
Hmm.
getting a bid to the Hall of Fame, which I think is awesome. It's great to see second basemen like that get in. Um, I mean, he was one of the best power hitting second basemen of all time, in my opinion. And obviously, he played for the Houston Astros for a while, so we got to see him quite often. So I thought that was pretty cool. It came out today that he's gotten the bid to go to Cooperstown. So pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've got a signed baseball by him tucked in a basement
Yeah.
somewhere, or so I need to go see if I can find it. But
Damn, do you have a basement in South Texas, dude? I need to get me one of those.
I guess maybe the attic, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah, figured.
yeah, but no. What about a hike, Lucas?
Y'all might have this same hike. I just have the honor of going first. My hug is going to the
Hike.
University of Notre, or my hike is going to Notre Dame. Notre Dame can absolutely go take a hike for sitting out of this their bowl game. Um, and I guess y'all saw the report that they have some kind of deal going forward with the 12-team playoff where if they finish in the top 12, they kick a team out and get the automatic bid. So they pretty much get an automatic bid if they're in the top 12, even if a conference champion. So if it would have been this year, Miami would have been bumped out and Notre Dame would have been slotted in. So, and the contingencies are still there for up to a 14-team playoff. Um, I think this is ridiculous. I think that the NCAA and the playoff committee should set a precedent here and make them join a conference.
That's my exactly what I was about to say.
Just
Join a
join a
conference.
conference. Like this is getting too far. The fact that one school has all this leverage, just leave. Just I mean, honestly, there should be no exception to the rule for any program to have that kind of leeway to get into a playoff. That's ridiculous. If it means that much, and if you would have been in a conference this year, you probably wouldn't have missed out on the playoff. So, yeah, go absolutely take a hike, Notre Dame. I don't care if you're storied, if you're going for your 11th, 12th, whatever national championship. That is ridiculous. And the fact that they're not playing the bowl game, whatever. I mean, that's fine. I know they're doing it to make a statement because they're upset and mad about not making the playoff, but The thing that bothered me more than anything was the contingency going forward of them getting in. Ross Dellinger broke the story, I guess, on Twitter today. Um, so yeah, that's
What and that's what
frustrates
I don't
me.
understand is like why like you said they should be in a conference. So why are you incentivizing them to continue doing the way they are? Like because that's exactly what
Exactly.
they're doing. It's just like okay, you don't be in conference, that's fine. So just get top 12 or get top 13 if we have a 14 team playoff and you're in
Yeah.
anyway. Like how can you possibly sign an MOU to that to where you're just like guaranteeing a spot? Because I know we looked at their 2026 schedule and I mean, like, there's no top contenders in there. I mean, their toughest games are USC
Miami.
and Miami.
That's it's
So I mean,
exactly like this
like
year.
they open with Wisconsin, where we've seen what Wisconsin's program is, and then it's all middle lower tier ACC teams. So
Yeah.
it's just mind boggling to me, like how they can allow that moving forward. But
What they should do, like I said, is make them join a conference. And I'm sure any conference will be more than happy to open up a spot for them because they're going to bring in money. But Notre
I
Dame
mean, they
doesn't want
play
to
an
do that.
ACC schedule. Just join the ACC. Like
Absolutely.
they're in the ACC in every other sport. So
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but I don't
It's
know.
it pisses me off to no end when that came out. But the one thing I will say is an MOU that's not a legally binding document, so it's not for sure. It's just like a an understanding. That's like a memorandum of understanding. So it's not like a legally binding thing. So it's not set in stone. But the fact that they're having those conversation should be a red flag.
For sure. I don't know. Well, you got a hike?
Yeah, I'm going chalk here. It's the committee and all their BS and lack of any reasoning on why they make any decision. They don't have to explain a daggone thing. Uh, However you say his name, the Yurchek or whatever the crap, the
Yeah.
dude from Arkansas gets up there like a clown and just spits out word soup without having to answer for any of the decisions they make. And what he does say is just it's crap. We'll divulge into the rankings and our thoughts and everything later on, but it's the committee, and it's always going to be the committee because they're always going to make decisions that we don't agree with. But yeah, the committee can take a hike.
For sure.
Um, I just don't understand if you're a failed athletic director at a university, what makes you qualified to be the head of the committee that makes all these decisions to put teams in? I don't
He just
know.
he just botched the hire of Alex Golish and ended up with Silverfield, who's probably going to be fired in 3 years because he wasn't great at Memphis. Like, I mean, completely botched your entire coaching hire, but yet he's the leader of the most important decisions in the sport.
Yeah,
You can't make it make sense.
he's yeah. I just don't understand how someone who's making those decisions at a university such as
Yeah, I mean,
Arkansas should be. Honestly, I don't think any athletic director of any program should be on this committee to begin with. This should be a
No.
non-biased situation. Like it should there should be no
uh,
biases. But
no,
no matter what happens, you're going to have some bias. You can't take that out of everything.
true,
But like to
but
the point though where like you can't tell me Greg Sankey from the SEC commissioner isn't calling him and saying, "Hey, go to bat for our guys to get us in." Like that's
uh, it's nothing. It's nothing we didn't see coming. I mean, I sent y'all the video. What was it, a week or two ago? The moment he tried to do 6'7" and be cute,
dude.
I was out 100%. I was so far like this. This is already telling me it's going to be a joke.
It's a
If
joke.
he's trying to do that kind of clown shit on that ESPN broadcast, get him out of here. But
Agreed.
For sure. Well, mine's just building off what y'all been talking about, but I think just the whole rubric behind how to determine the 12 teams can take a hike. Like just the fact that we're in the position that we're in right now with the five automatic bids to where now we're in a position where we have two group of five teams playing in the highest level of competition right now is just mind blowing. Like I know we talked about it. Like the plan from the beginning was, yes, we're gonna say five, but four of those are for the power four, and then one's gonna be group of five. But then we get put in a position this year where the ACC struggles, and so now we're stuck with two group of five teams instead. Like, kind of the point y'all made earlier is like now we're, or maybe it was before the pod, whenever, but it's like, trying to avoid matchups. But now you got Tulane playing Ole Miss again, lost by 35 this season. And then now you have James Madison going to Eugene, Oregon to try to play that game, which I can't even imagine what the spread's going to be opening up. But I mean,
21 and a
is that,
half.
yeah, 21 and a half for a first round playoff game. Like that's unbelievable. Like who's going to want to tune into something like that? Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like when you set the rubric like that, where these five teams have to get in, and now we're stuck in the position that we are. But
No, I absolutely agree. And like you said, like there's no way that whenever this format was set, that they ever saw this coming. But this is year two of the 12 team playoff, and it's already happened. So,
mhm.
like, there has to be some overhaul. I know they made the change last year because obviously last year the champions went to the top four, which I thought that was a good change. But there has to be a better way to determine a national champion, or at least the playoff format of it.
Do y'all think with them sneaking Miami in that the wording's going to change to like instead of like each of the power four like each power four is guaranteed a spot and then one group of five is guaranteed a spot instead of it being conference champions? Or are they going to try to do a play on it now since Miami got in? So the ACC's I don't know how they're going to do it because
I'm
if you take away the conference champion and just say you guarantee spots, then you don't have to worry about getting a second group of five in.
Yeah, I think
They're gonna do something because this will never happen again.
no, absolutely not.
No,
Um, Again, just bump it to 16, man. Just go to 16. Like at the end of the day, that should what should probably happen, and just have a straight up seeding, one place 16, so on and so on. And obviously, the one seed would get ideally the best matchup, and then
It would still be
that's your
against the group of five representative most
exactly.
in most years.
Exactly. Yeah, the group of five just slots into that 16 spot, and then go from there. Um, I mean, I know I've said it on here plenty of times. I want a 24 team, top eight, get a bye, and go that way. I think that would be fun. If you map out kind of what it would look like this year, there's some pretty intriguing matchups in round one. If you would have played it that way, but I mean, we'll see if it ever even gets to that point. I'm sure eventually it probably will. You don't think so, Will?
I hope it doesn't, but it probably will.
Really?
Money's the root of all of these things. So as
I
long as they
think
keep making money, it'll probably get that far.
I think that also sets the precedent to take away the conference championship game, which needs to go away as well. Because if in the projected 2014 playoff that they've been talking about, the top four SEC and the top four Big Ten schools are auto bids, and then uh, obviously conference to conference you'll go in and they'll lobby for I want two or I want three, whatever, and then the rest is just seeding, like based off of rankings, which I think that'd be awesome. If I'm not lying, I
well,
think
because
it'd
that's
be
kind of
cool for
what,
the sport.
because that's even what I brought up with, like, say they go to a 16 team playoff. So now, if you're a top seed, so you're Indiana, Ohio State, you're playing for a Big Ten championship. So now, not only do you have to play that extra game, but now you don't get that extra bye, and you have all these other teams that are now sitting and just they get to watch. So they get essentially they get 2 weeks to rest while you're having to play that bonus game. So that's kind of the
Well,
issue I have with the conference championship. But
but I think at Lucas's point, if you expand the playoff to that point, you don't even have them.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Just take it
no,
away.
there's no reason to. Especially if every Power Four conference is guaranteed at least two automatic bids, it's going to those two teams most of the time.
yeah,
But if you don't have to worry about conference championships, then you don't have these tiebreakers. Like you wouldn't have Duke getting in.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, I guess that's true. Uh, may
You wouldn't have the you wouldn't have the championship game. You would just take the two highest ranked teams.
would you take the two highest ranked, or would you take the two highest finishers in each division? I think that's how
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, that is how it is for sure. It's the top four finishers in the SEC. Like
It's not the four highest ranked teams.
no, no.
So
It's what you finish.
in the 2014 playoff, the 8-5 Duke Blue, or at that point the 7-5 Duke Blue Devils would have been in the playoff.
Yes.
That's all I need to hear to tell me I'm out
Well,
on the 2014 playoff.
it also Duke and Virginia would have been the representatives,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
all.
my
That's
but Miami would have gotten in based off of ranking.
that's fine, but that's all I needed to hear to know that I'm out.
See, I don't know. I disagree. Like some of these matchups, like Duke would play Miami first round, Michigan, Utah, Vanderbilt, Virginia, Notre Dame would get JMU, but then you have BYU, Houston, Texas gets Tulane for a matchup against Tech, Alabama, Pitt, Arizona, USC. Like I'm there for those, dude. Like a round of 16 game would probably be Texas versus Texas Tech in Lubbock.
The other
Yeah.
Give
problem
me that.
is the other problem is then bowl games would need to just cease to exist.
No, they could still exist because all they are
But
for money. The
but you
teams that
already but you already have teams opting out now that don't make the playoffs. So like, are we gonna just have a bunch of 3-9
no,
teams playing in the bowls because nobody
no,
wants to play in those if they miss the playoff?
no, because you could
I think so.
you still get to 6 wins. You still have to get to 6 wins and still play the bowl
But
games.
but everybody's opting out. Like they're just not
Yeah,
going to play them. And if we go to 24 teams and you miss a 24 team playoff, you really don't give a shit about playing the bowl game.
which I think there is. So obviously bowl games are for money, but I think there is some benefit. You get 2 extra weeks of practice for your underclassmen, and your underclassmen get some experience underneath their belt. And then if a new coach comes in like LSU, like the players that want to be retained on the roster, if they show out in the bowl game, like it's almost like a live exhibition. Like you have to go out like a scrimmage. Like show me what you got. Like I think there's some value to bowl season. I know what was it, Kansas State and Iowa State opted out. Is that who the two out of the Big Ten
Yeah.
or Big 12?
And
Yeah.
and Notre Dame, obviously.
Well, I don't talk about them. They're
That's
canceled.
it's a freaking joke.
Yeah, they're canceled. But no, with those though, like I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning for opting out though. Like
New coaches.
Well, I was gonna
That's
say
it.
that's what I was saying is like,
LSU
That's
has a
it.
new coach.
That's my whole point here. So and $500,000 fine to each school they have to pay for breaking their contractual agreements. They just paid it. They don't care. I mean, I hate every bit of that. But I
Yeah,
think if you move forward and it's a 24 team playoff, if you can't get into that, like they're you're gonna just have a bunch of MAC and Mountain West teams playing the bowl games because none of these big conferences they're not gonna want to go play.
I mean that's pretty much what it is now anyway.
I mean, Mississippi State took the place of either Iowa State or Kansas State.
Yeah,
So
so
you have a
did
bunch of
Rice.
5-7, 4-8 teams playing a bowl. I mean, at that point, what the hell are we doing?
I mean the bowl games are what is the benefit of a bowl game even now? Even if you get to 6 wins,
Filler. It's a
that's
filler.
that's
The
what that's what it
TV
still would
TV
be.
revenue.
That's still what it'd be.
But if you continuously expand the playoff, you have to take up more time. So, these bowl games would all be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or they're not going to be on prime time on the weekends and stuff.
You wouldn't take up more time because again the conference championship would weekend would be done. Like so bowl season could probably start a little earlier potentially.
Yeah, but
And
they're going to want all these games like in prime viewing to get the most views. So they're not going to want to have like playoff games at the same time in different areas. They're going to want them all have their own individual time slot.
but that's just not going to happen. Or they'll play Friday night and Saturday like they do in the playoffs currently.
They will
yeah,
not play playoff games concurrently together. That would be malpractice as far as viewership goes.
But there aren't really and truly, there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 games in round one. Like you could do that on a Friday, Saturday, easy.
But you could, but the only reason right now that they take up all four time slots available for prime time,
Yeah.
and that's the max. So unless you move it to, and they can't do Sunday because of NFL.
Yeah.
No, but the bowl games are played during the week right now anyway. Like they're not played on the weekends
Correct,
always.
but that's way different than a playoff game.
No, I agree, but what you were saying was earlier, you said that the bowl games will be played on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what they do that now, especially
Yeah,
during like Christmas break, and it'll still be the same. That's
but
fine.
like, yeah, we
Like
bet
Christmas
on them
Eve.
and we do the pick 'em. I don't watch them unless I'm off. Like I'm not at work, like tuning in to see
Like
slapdick states beating who. I don't care. I mean,
me,
like,
I'm the same way, and it would still be the exact same if you have a 2014 playoff. It'd be the same thing. You still don't care about it. You still bet on it. You just keep up with it for a bowl pick 'em.
yeah, I get all that part. I just can't see them having a playoff where they can't have every game in a prime time slot to try to maximize viewership. That's the part I have a hard time seeing.
But I think they would,
Well, they'd have to. They wouldn't have a choice.
and I still think they would. They would be able to do that on a Friday, Saturday for round one, and then a Friday, Saturday for round two because there's 8 and 8.
Yeah.
But then
I
you
would
would have the overlap though, because stacking 4 games in it. Because you assume your first game starts at 11, your last game starts at 7, ideally.
no, not on the West Coast. I'm sure they could do a West Coast game late.
Because of the
True.
matchups, and
Yeah,
you can't predict the matchups.
no,
I'll say that's if they're hosting the matchup. Yeah. I
but
don't
they're gonna
know.
have to have that. They're gonna have to do that same thing for a 16 team playoff then too. If they bump it to
Yeah.
16, because then you have 8 games. With the 2014 playoff, you just have 8 games, 2 weekends in a row.
Unless you do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You have 2 Thursday, 3 Friday, 3 Saturday.
Yeah, I think it would be great. And then if anybody's arguing that they should be in a 2014 playoff, then they can go take a hike because I understand arguing
They
that you should.
will. Teams 25, 26, and 27 will be arguing that they should be in the. You can
And
expand this. It's the same. I mean, you can expand it
agreed,
to whatever you want. They're gonna argue.
agreed, but you have a lot less leg to stand on than if you're
Yes,
like
because
if
whenever you're 8-4, like God forbid, win another freaking game.
absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, plus it's going to be lower level teams too. Like right now, it's Vanderbilt, Texas, Notre Dame, teams like that are upset about a
And
spot. You get down to 25, 26, 27, you're looking at, those ACC or group of 5 teams that have been trying to sneak into the rankings and don't get there. Like
yeah,
there's
Hey.
less money
Yeah.
argument behind it, I
like
guess.
trust me. If LSU finishes 25 and doesn't make a 2014 playoff, I'm going to be upset about it, and I'm going to argue a case. But at the end of the day, they should have won more games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
Well, you know what, guys? We don't have a 2014 playoff, but we do have a 12-team playoff to talk about. So let's talk
That's
Yeah, we
about what's
do.
happening, and we'll worry about the hypotheticals if they ever come to fruition.
I hope they
For
do,
sure.
man.
Because with even
Well,
this 12-team playoff, they still screwed it up.
Very true.
well, let's talk about the games first, and then we can talk about the bracket.
All
So,
right.
well, let's start on Friday. We had our AAC championship for the 11 seed, and then we had our Sun Belt championship for the 12 seed in the Sun Belt championship. So, the first one, Tulane versus North Texas. Um, I think did anybody pick North? I know I picked Tulane.
I picked Tulane.
I can't remember. I
I
think
picked Tulane.
yeah. I mean, I think
I think
Michael was the one I picked North Texas.
it was the Tulane,
So yeah,
yeah, sweep.
yeah. I mean, Tulane pretty much held on to it from the beginning. Got a little dicey there at the end, but North Texas 5 turnovers, I think, is what they ended up with. Some crucial interceptions by the QB that really cost them. I mean, they were in the game getting late where they were starting to get back into it and have an opportunity, and then at the end of it, Tulane just snuck away. So Jake Retzlaff gets his team in, only threw for
Tulane.
145 yards. So found a way to get them into the playoff and lock in that 11 seed to face Ole Miss in the playoffs. So big win for them, obviously. And then the other
Yeah, I
one,
mean,
James
I'm
Madison. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a dominant game. I mean, yeah, I know North Texas kind of came in there late, but uh, dominant game for two head coaches facing off each other who aren't even going to be there next year, which was wild to see. Um, Yeah, I was legitimately questioning, who would be locked in, and still seemed like they had their team focused, which was a good sign because I was worried about what type of precedent this would set as we move forward, where a lot of these group of five coaches will be getting poached to take bigger jobs, and we'll probably run into this situation. This will be the last time we face a situation like this, where a team that is losing a head coach to a bigger job. So happy to see that they were still seeming to both be focused. They were still trying to play good football and give us a good product. So that made me feel good about moving forward with these types of situations.
Yeah.
All for the chance to go get absolutely killed in the first round. But yeah,
Well, that's what's funny. Like you said, is two teams without with the head coach is not coming back next year. And now Tulane gets to play another team that's already lost their head coach in the first round of the playoffs. So just a crazy situation for Tulane. But
They allowed their offensive coordinator to coach, even though he's a has a contract and is an LSU offensive
yeah.
coordinator now. But
hmm
there's no
Charlie
hypocrisy
Weiss
there.
Jr., right?
Yeah, no hypocrisy
yep,
there.
Yeah.
yeah, imagine that.
You can let the OC come in because we need your help, but yeah, whatever.
Also, since we're on Tulane, quick little hug to Tulane because they thought they had their coach and Blake Baker, and LSU was like, "No, here's $3 million to stay," and he was like, "Well, I guess I'll just stay and be the DC."
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't think it was just that. I mean, Summerall's making over 3 million at Tulane currently. So I would assume that Tulane gave him a similar offer. I think he was just
Probably
weighing
so.
the yeah. So it
Probably
was
so.
literally choosing between and at the end of the day, he's going to be a head coach eventually as well. I think he might just want go straight into a Power Four job instead of doing the Summerall route, which we've seen it work before, where uh, coordinators go into Power Four jobs and do well. I mean, Ryan Day. You look at Ryan
Elko,
Day, Elko was at Duke though.
it's power four.
Yeah, I guess it's true. Venables.
Hey, ACC champion Duke, man. That's an ACC power that he was
He
coach at. All
yeah,
yeah
right.
he built it
yeah.
up right. He handed the keys over, huh? Um,
That's right.
but I mean, you have Venables. You have there's I mean Freeman and
A whole
like
lot of
all
examples of
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
There's a ton of examples. So I guess he wanted to go that route, which eventually we'll lose our guy. But it's great that he stayed. I'm super pumped. And then LSU also hired God, what's his name? Oh, is it Elijah? He was the interim head coach at A&M.
Robinson, Elijah
Elijah
Robinson.
Robinson as a D line coach, which I'm super pumped about that.
He's an outstanding recruiter.
That's exactly
Outstanding
right.
recruiter.
Why do you think LSU signed the best defensive line class in the country
Yeah.
at a high school this year? Like,
Yeah, he's an unbelievable recruiter. Like,
dude, that defensive line class is it's and if he can coach him up, dude. Oh,
good hire, good hire. But yeah, just quick little hug to Tulane because I think they were really, I think they were really not. I won't say all in, but they were really, really trying to get Blake Baker to come be the head coach. But
I mean, he's an alum there too. Like he went to
yeah,
Tulane,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
it's
I thought for sure he was gone, like with
yeah,
all the ties, but
yeah.
I
yeah,
mean, it got to the
Anyway,
point that somebody photoshopped Tulane into his Twitter page. So,
yeah,
so yeah, good win for them. But then the other one, James Madison, also coaching with a coach that won't be there next year, taking down
ugly win
Troy.
for them. Ugly
Yeah,
yeah.
win
ugly
because
win.
Troy's not a good football team
The
No.
score doesn't show how close that was late.
at all.
Yeah.
And I think weren't they like a 21 or 24 point favorite? Like they were supposed
It
to
was
just
like,
smash them.
yeah, they closed it like 22 and a half. I think was the closing.
Was that game
Yeah,
at
Alonzo
James
Bart.
Madison too? Isn't it a home game for
I
those like
believe
lower
so.
Yeah,
power or those
I
lower
believe so.
yeah,
conferences? Jeez.
It was a home game for
yeah.
Tulane as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Alonzo Barnett into 10 for 25 with 93 yards passing, but they had 318 yards rushing in that game.
On the
So
ground, yeah. I mean,
Barnett had almost as
yeah,
many rushing yards he had passing yards.
yeah, it was not a pretty win. But thanks to, the Dukes had to cheer on Duke, and I guess they did a little handshake agreement, and Duke got the Dukes in,
There you go.
True.
and they get to go play the Ducks.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to go as well.
Congratulations.
It's
Yeah.
not. It is not. I mean, yeah,
No.
you know, love to highlight these small schools sometimes, but man, this is not going to be a very fun highlight film for them.
What if they did the unthinkable though? That would be wild. I'm just
Not a
saying,
chance. Yeah, I know.
for sure. But how cool would that be?
It would be. It would hit like when a 16 seed beats a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And like it's
Mm,
Absolutely.
awesome. You know they're never gonna go win the national title, but it does hit like crack whenever they hit one or whenever they win one. So
Yeah.
statistically, I'm sure at some point it will happen if this playoff lasts for however 100 years. I'm sure one of them somebody will eventually get knocked off, but uh, don't see it happening this year.
No.
no, definitely not. Also, shout out James Madison for hiring an SEC coach as their head coach next year, bringing in
Yeah,
old Billy Napier coming in to coach the
Sunbelt
Dukes
Billy,
next year.
man,
So, yep,
Sunbelt Billy.
Mm.
making his mighty return. Hey, that's probably good for James Madison, though. I mean, he's a great Group of Five coach, so it's not quite built
Yeah.
for the SEC. So yeah, so
Did
let's roll into Saturday. So Texas Tech opened up the day against BYU. Ended exactly what we thought it was going to end like. First half actually closer than I thought it was going to be. Ugly first half. Uh, Texas Tech just made some struggles. BYU, they first drive of the game, drive 90 yards, score a touchdown, go up 7-0, and you're like, oh man, like this could be actually maybe interesting. And then I mean, the biggest thing I know, like, we've gone back to it over and over again, but man, Texas Tech in the red zone is just like I'm watching that game and it's just I don't know what happens, but they cross that 25-yard line and like it's just something flicks off and they just I mean, they struggled big time, like just dropping passes, bad throws. I mean, it was just kind of crazy to see, but at the end of the day, I mean, still win 34-7. I mean, in dominating fashion. I mean, you could see in the second half. I mean, it was a tale of two teams at that point. I mean, Texas Tech just a much better team, and then keeping BYU out of the playoff, obviously. So big win for them and securing the first round bye at that 4 seed. So good win for them.
Yeah. Like you said, it went exactly how we figured.
yeah,
Um,
just completely overmatched. There was most teams were against Tech. I mean, and again, if Morton's not hurt, they're probably undefeated. I don't think they lose to Arizona State earlier on. They've
No,
been the class of the Big 12. I think the only conference champion pick that was correct, Brian took
yeah, I
Texas
think
Tech to
so.
win outright of all of
Yeah,
our preseason projections. That's the only one that any of us got right. Out of
sounds about
16
right.
chances, I mean, out of what, out
Yeah,
of 12 chances here, we got one right. So
we got
yikes on
one.
us. But
We got one conference champion and one dark horse, right? So.
yeah, jeez.
Oh man. But yeah, good win for them. So I mean, I still think, I mean, I know they played ugly in the first half, but I mean their defense is still just daunting, man. Like you take out that first drive, I mean, like they're like BYU had no answers to anything. I mean,
No, no.
they were dominant.
Tech is real. I mean, Tech has the defense and the offense can score enough points at times. Like they can make some noise in this playoff. I have no problem saying that.
I was gonna say we'll go over the bracket and the rankings and all that stuff a little bit later, but they're on the right side of the bracket too. Like
Mhm.
they have a path for sure. And we'll get to
Absolutely.
Indiana. They're on the same side as Indiana, but we'll get to that. But
Yeah, for sure. So that's what started off, and then the 3 o'clock slate, Georgia and Alabama. Georgia just dominating that game from beginning to end.
Woof.
I actually saw a
yeah,
stat that it compared because people talked about Alabama
don't say
going
it.
in and
Don't
beating
say it.
Georgia.
Don't say it.
No, don't say it. All right, I won't say it. But big win for Georgia, getting that three
I know where
seed.
you're going.
Yeah.
Were you
But
talking about
yeah, so big.
2011?
No, 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 no. It was
Okay,
about
go
this
ahead.
year. Like they
Okay,
were
go
talking
ahead then.
about.
Go ahead.
Okay, they were talking about Georgia and Alabama this year, and they showed that Alabama beat Georgia 24-14 first half, and then since that point, Georgia's outscored Alabama 35-7. So they're like,
Mm,
you take out that ugly half against Georgia, like even that game's probably different. So
yeah,
they're really like they said it's really 6 quarters of ugly football by Alabama, but a really good first half was the difference in that game.
yeah.
So yeah.
I thought you were gonna bring it back to the 2011 national championship where LSU didn't cross the 50-yard line until the
Oh
beginning of the
no.
fourth quarter. So, because it kind of felt that way
No,
too. This game felt
didn't
that
want to
way as
bring it.
well.
Yeah, it was
Well,
pretty close.
it was the field position, guys. Like
Yeah.
Georgia put Bama in hell. Like
Hmm.
Bama's Bama had 12 drives, 14 drives. Their best starting field position was their own 25-yard line.
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable stat. And for those that
Yeah,
don't
that's
know,
crazy.
that's what their best starting field position was whenever they received the kickoff.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Yeah, and obviously some things went against them too, right? The blocked punt at the
Well,
beginning, and
well,
then
the
the
yeah
interception, and
the flip side of that is Georgia started in great field position multiple
uh,
times.
exactly that was field position. It was the difference in the game, like you were saying, for sure.
But just I mean the defense. I mean Simpson having more incompletions than completions. 19 for 39. Yeah, they just it was a very very good showing by Georgia, who now looks like they're looking more like the Georgia of old, and that should be
Yeah,
scary for everybody. And I was listening to somebody talk about it like teams missed their chance earlier this year that had Georgia on the ropes. 'Cause, I mean, Georgia's a few plays away from not even being in this playoff. I mean,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Florida had
Florida,
them. Ole Miss was up two. Ole Miss was up. Ole Miss had a two. They were in a two-possession lead with late in the fourth quarter.
yeah,
I mean, Georgia's dangerously close to being out of this playoff, and now they just look like they are outside of the two Big Ten teams. They're probably the strongest looking team to make a run at the title. So,
yeah,
uh,
I agree. What I was going to say too is the defensive scheme that Georgia had too. Ty Simpson just looked confused all day. Their blitz packages, like they were bringing stuff at him that he had no idea what the hell was going on. He didn't know where the pressure was coming from. It was just total domination by Georgia. They look great. They look very very good, and it looks like they're going to be on a crash course for Ohio State, um, being on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah, if they find a way to keep running the ball, like they had some success
Oh
running the
yeah,
ball. Yeah. But they keep having
it
success
could
running the ball,
happen.
man. That's just going to make them even better. So
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
see.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that defense was crazy. So Alabama -3 yards rushing, obviously a big part of it too. So
that stat is nuts. I mean,
definitely miss Jam Miller.
big. Well, and Bama not making excuses for him. Bama's is so is Georgia to a certain extent, but Bama had a lot of injuries, a
Oh, they
whole
did.
Yeah,
lot of injuries, and but that's what happens when you play in this conference and you have to play good teams week in and week out. That's going to happen. And we think it's bad now. Wait till you add that ninth conference game next year. You know, it. You can call us SEC homers, whatever you want to call us, but like it does make a difference when, yeah, okay, you go and play Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas goes 0-8 in the conference. Slap in some of these other conferences, they're middle tier at worst.
Yeah.
So, you know, having to play these kind of games, it's gonna injuries are gonna stack up. So that is an unfortunate reality. Uh,
Just got to find a way to power through them. But we'll talk about the bracket, but it's going to be a crash course for another uh, big showdown between them and the Sooners. So we'll talk about that one a
Yeah.
little bit, though. So rolling over the ACC, we've been talking about them. Duke with the big win in overtime versus Virginia, uh, blowing the lead in the fourth quarter, uh, and allowing Virginia to score late. Drove, what was it, 90 yards in a minute and 22 seconds or something like that to tie the game.
Yeah.
Uh, and then taking overtime, and then Duke, scores on their first possession. And then I think it was the first play of the game, Virginia throws a pick and seals the deal. So yeah,
A
big
double
win for
pass.
Duke,
Yeah.
caused some chaos. So that allowed for James
Duke
Madison to get in.
Duke won in the most Duke way possible. Like
Yeah.
the way that game went was just the perfect picture of how their entire season went. Uh, so it was very, very fitting.
Yeah, I caught the back end of that game. Obviously, I was watching the Big Ten championship game, and then as soon as that one went final, I switched over, and that was when Duke punted and pinned them down, and then the way Virginia moved the ball down the field and just the boneheaded penalties that Duke had down the stretch, going into overtime, the momentum was all with Virginia, and I was like, oh, dude, Duke might be in trouble here. And then they just started running the ball down their throat again and ended up scoring. Uh, I think on fourth down. I believe it was on fourth down too. They converted a fourth down to score in overtime, and then
Hmm.
the pick, and then sealed it, whatever. But yeah, good for Duke, man. It's a big win for that program. I mean, obviously we know they're a basketball school first, um,
Yeah.
and so might have to pick them as my dark horse next year.
Yeah, gotta love it, man. Fight your tail off, go win the ACC, and get the massive reward of the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. You know, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Hang the banner.
But see, yeah. I don't know. Just going back to the opting out of bowl games, like Duke didn't have to play this game either. Like, I mean, I guess you get an ACC championship banner hung, whatever. But
That
I
is
mean,
so funny, dude. Because
they're gonna
it's definitely going in the stadium. They'll put the little ACC
yeah,
championship, so they'll put 25 on there.
absolutely.
I I wish they would put 8 and 5 in parentheses next to it. That would be so funny.
I mean, they're
Uh,
gonna have a trophy in the trophy cabinet. They're literally gonna have that trophy.
I know we're talking about like Duke. Long time. When's the last time a Power Four conference was won by a team with 5 losses? Like, is that just is that a statistical anomaly? Like, has that ever happened?
It has to be. If it has happened, I'm sure it has, but it has to have been a very, very long
Long
time.
time. Like that is such a odd thing that since they're not going to be the playoff, people. It was a great talking point. People are going to move on from it, but it's actually it's fascinating
Yeah.
that was even a possibility.
I truly don't think it is possible because, I mean, back in the day, they didn't play as many games.
Yeah, and not just that, but like because of the super conferences, now you have these weird tiebreakers. When you had smaller conferences, there
Yeah,
wasn't a way for you to sneak into something like this.
for sure.
Plus, you also had divisions within conferences. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it probably to your point, if it has happened, it's been a very long time, or it has never happened. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm just trying to look it up real quick, and I see nothing about it. So I'd be very
Yeah.
surprised if it's ever happened, honestly.
Same.
And then obviously the big matchup of the day with number one versus number two, Ohio State, Indiana, two undefeated teams, Big Ten championship. I know that all three of us picked Ohio State and the points. It was at
with
minus
the
6.5,
bullet. I
closed at minus
mean,
3.5. Yeah. And Indiana came out, throwing punches and ready to go and snuck out the win 13-10. So very low scoring affair. But a huge, I mean, I know we've talked about it already, but huge win for Indiana. I mean, widely unexpected when Kurt Signetti came in, but all he does is win. You just got to Google him. So, and he did exactly that, man. Like, it's just huge win for them to take over the Big Ten, so and get the number one seed.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say about it, man, that was a hard hitting game, dude. Like they were like both teams defensively were flying to the football. Like it was awesome to watch. Like that I mean, it reminds me of like old SEC matchups back in the day. Like it was great. Um, the intrigue of the game though, and I mean, Indiana's been a little battle tested, right? They had to go to Autzen, pulled out that win, right? This was really the first time, I think they showed the stat during the game. This is the first time that Ohio State has been down in the second half all season.
Hmm.
And I wonder how much of that plays into like they just never been in that situation before. And
Yeah.
they came up against a good Indiana team and couldn't pull through. I feel like that has to play some part into it. The unfortunate thing is now this is probably going to piss off Ohio State, and they're going to go sweep the playoff, right?
yeah, I mean, it was the most shocking result of the conference championship weekend. If you would have
Same.
told of yeah,
He's
this
saying
result
like
was
you
shocking,
think like
dude.
I mean,
Oh,
I thought Duke beating Virginia was more shocking. Like a five-loss team going in there, they were a bigger underdogs. I mean, it ended up a 3.5 point line. I mean,
I know, but I
yeah,
resoundingly thought Ohio. If you would have told me Ohio State's going to hold Indiana to 13 points, there's no way they're losing that football game. The offense can
yeah,
score. I mean, with all those weapons,
yeah. I
saying
guess that's true.
how efficient saying is, and you got Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, and
Yeah,
if that defense is going to hold Indiana to 13, Ohio State's got this in the bag.
yeah,
I was not, and how the game played out. I mean, it was just a dang good football game.
yeah,
Defensive battle. Guys still got theirs. I mean, Jeremiah Smith still had 8 for 144. I
yeah.
mean, it wasn't like there was anything was super under control. It was just good defensive football. And when you talk about the talent gap, um, from what the guys and the five stars and everything that Ohio State's got to compare to what Indiana has, that just again to me highlights how good of a coaching job this is by Kirk Cianetti and that entire staff at Indiana to get
Agreed.
guys that are the leftovers per se from every other school that they have to get to come to Indiana, and they coach them up and get them ready, and for them to not be afraid to go slay the mighty Ohio State Buckeyes. It's a super impressive win. Um, Now, if there was a rematch, does this mean I flipped that I think Indiana would win? Absolutely not. I still think Ohio State's better, but you got to give credit where credit is due, and you have to give an insane amount of credit to Indiana for going and winning this football game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, especially I know we talked about last year. The mindset for Signetti was more against Ohio State was more of just don't get blown out. Keep it competitive, and then just flipping the script year two and saying we're going to go and we're going to win this game and doing exactly that. So yeah, definitely a huge mindset. I mean, he's a guy that seems like everybody there would just really want to go to battle with. So they're ready to
one
play.
thing I'll
So
say. One thing I'll say too. I think having a Heisman winning quarterback on your team helps too. Like, I mean, Mendoza made all the throws as well. Like some of those throws downfield, like he wasn't missing. Like his deep ball looked really good last night. Um, so
That's actually a question I wanted to bring up, and I guess since you said the word, I'll throw it in here now. Did this solidify him winning the Heisman?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that throw to seal, or was it the throw to seal the game
Yes.
where he threw it
Yeah.
over yeah, I think that might have been the Heisman moment or whatever you want to say. Like that was a beautiful throw. Um,
So this is so we're.
I mean, you want to
I
talk
mean,
about like
I
yeah,
know
go
like
ahead.
coming into the game, it was like the winner of the game, the winning quarterback's probably gonna win the Heisman unless the argument I heard was unless it's like a 10-7, 13-10 game, both guys throw a pick or two and don't do anything crazy. Kind of went that way because now with I mean even with this extra game, Diego Pavia's numbers still blow both these guys out the water.
Oh yeah,
So like,
yeah, but yeah, that's
I
tough.
mean, I would say like I
good-
mean, I would say, Mendoza, maybe he didn't, make, just these huge throws that just really made a difference. But I do think he made some timely throws, and like I said, like the one that froze the game at the end, and just some of the throws he made, I mean, were just unbelievable. I mean, like there were some big time passes
Yeah,
that he made in that game that they had to make that really made the difference in the game.
yeah. And now with that win under the belt, I don't think there's any question that I mean Indiana has the two most impressive wins in the country. No, not even a question about it. Like going on the road to Oregon and winning, and now beating Ohio State. Those are
I would still argue Bama going into Athens and beating Georgia is pretty impressive.
agreed, but they don't have two of them.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah,
They don't have two of them, right? Like
yeah.
I mean the two together.
I gotcha. I
So,
gotcha.
so
The body of work.
yeah, would you say Bama going to Georgia and winning is more impressive than Indiana beating Ohio State in a neutral site?
No, no.
Exactly, that's what I'm
I
saying.
would say it's more impressive than going to Oregon
Yeah, 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 for sure.
by itself. But
Yeah, uh,
no,
but
this is the most impressive win of the season. I mean,
yeah,
I know people kept saying, do we know Ohio State? They haven't been tested, all that stuff. I know who the guys in that team were, and I still thought that they had a level that they hadn't even had to get to yet to win games. And the defense is obviously still for real. I mean, you hold a
yeah.
team to 13 points, the defense didn't lose the football game. And the offense didn't really do anything to lose either. They just, you thought with the weapons, they'd still find a way to, score enough points. And man,
So,
when the going got tough, they didn't make the plays when they needed to.
so my argument to that, then, and again, I'm not a sympathizer to this team, but it was pretty much a carbon copy of the first game of the season for Ohio State against Texas. Like Ohio
It
State,
was.
they got yards. There were plenty of yards to be had against Texas, but they still only put up 14 points. If Texas had a
Yeah.
little bit of a better offense like Indiana does, I mean, Ohio State probably loses that game.
Yeah,
Um,
and we all chalked it up to like, hey, first week of the season, first start for Saiyan. They don't really have the whole playbook available. They had all of it yesterday, and they still
yeah,
couldn't do it.
and that's what I'm saying. And
Agreed. Yeah.
those are the only two teams that are even remotely talented that they played this year. And so you put up 10 and you, or what was it, 10 and 14?
14. Yeah. That game was
Like
14-7. And like
that.
honestly, talent wise, I would still argue Texas has more talent than what Indiana has.
Oh, dude, there's no question about
Yeah,
it.
without a
Yeah. So,
doubt. Yeah.
but
Like,
now Ohio State's going to be facing teams with nothing but the talent of the two teams that they've struggled against.
and that's exactly it. Why? Again, I don't know. Like the sample size is still pretty small. There's just been two games, but I mean, they're on the other side of the bracket. But if they face Oklahoma, like they probably struggle to score, but Oklahoma's so bad on offense that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
and no matter which team they get, whether it's A&M or Miami in their first game, the talent again is going to be there
yeah,
more than any other team they played in the Big Ten outside of Indiana.
Indiana, absolutely. It'll be
And
interesting,
not to
man.
take anything
Yeah,
away from Indiana either, but kind of going back to the playbook, like has Ohio State really opened up the playbook yet this season? I mean, like, what does this game do for Ohio State besides get the number one seed? I mean, really, like, you're locked into a top four no matter what. I mean, you're going to get a first round bye no matter what. So, I mean, like, I mean, you could argue not to take anything away from Indiana at all, but you could argue Ohio State probably also didn't fully utilize everything they could have to win that game, knowing full well that, worst case we drop to three. I mean, best case we drop to
Yeah.
two if we lose this game.
I see your point, but I still think they were trying to win it, you know.
Yeah, I do too.
But
Yeah,
on the flip, one of y'all said it a while ago, man. Sometimes getting a slice of humble pie is what you need, and if you're going to lose the game when the stakes really weren't that high, and again we're about to get in the bracket, and they didn't get punished at all. Uh, Sometimes you need that chip when all season long you've just been kind of waltzing through, and now you have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. And just like it was last year, if they were to roll on and win the national title, they're not going to give two shits that they didn't win the ACC or they didn't win the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So, you
No,
know,
absolutely.
yeah. That was kind of my thought. Is like this could be the equivalent to the Michigan game of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is where we're at, but it'll all play out. So yeah. So those are our big championship games. So let's get into the bracket. So, kind of we talked about Indiana, taking over Ohio State. They get the number one overall seed. Ohio State, kind of the biggest surprise for me is that Ohio State dropped to two. I honestly thought that Georgia was going to jump them and take the two
Agreed.
seed based on their performance against Alabama. So I was kind of surprised that Ohio State only dropped to two, but Georgia gets the three seed and then Tech gets the four seed. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue or have any sort of argument against those top four seeds at all, getting those buys. So they'll get the
Yeah.
first round by the first weekend. Five seed Oregon. They start off with James Madison, the 12 seed. Uh, Ole Miss gets a six seed. Stayed above Texas A&M despite losing Lane Kiffin. They'll face Tulane in the first round. A&M gets a seven seed. They face Miami, who snuck in there, and then Alabama stays at the nine. They play Oklahoma at the eight seed. So those are our matchups. So I know we've kind of talked about the group of five. I mean, James Madison going to Autzen. I mean, it's going to be probably a rough showing. I mean, we've already seen what happened with Tulane and Ole Miss. I mean, I know despite losing Lane Kiffin, you still got Charlie Weiss Jr., you still got your defensive coordinator. I mean, you still got your players. So, I mean, I don't see any reason why, that game's going to be any different. Um, and then just rolling. I mean, honestly, if I had to pick a game that I think would probably be the most interesting, I think it'll be the A&M Miami game, in my opinion, out of the first four. I mean, I don't know what y'all think, but
Yeah. I think I'd agree. Which that sucks for Texas A&M. That difference between Ole Miss and A&M is huge, right? You're on that side of the bracket as well. You're on the Ohio State side if you do beat Miami.
A&M got
Yeah,
screwed.
they
I honestly
did.
didn't try to hold it back. A&M got screwed. A&M
Yeah,
fell victim to losing at the wrong time in the season. If A&M
yeah,
loses that game the second week in October, they are not the number seven seed. And
yeah,
if you were to flip, say Ole Miss's loss to Georgia happens the same, that week, and our loss to Texas happens when they lost, this wouldn't even be a conversation. That's all it is to me, is that we lost the wrong time in the season, because these metrics that they love and decide all this stuff and really tells them which teams are better. Who's higher in damn near everyone? Texas A&M. So they have the exact same record. They play in the exact same conference. All of your beloved metrics favor A&M. And Reese Davis tried to ask that exact question. What was the difference in how y'all decided to keep Ole Miss, over A&M? And he just sat up there and avoided the question like the plague, because they
yeah.
didn't have one. They didn't have a good answer. because there's no way to justify it, in my opinion. Same record, same conference. All the metrics say or favor A&M, but we just put Ole Miss at 6, and it sets up a rematch. So usually in years past, they've they've tried to avoid, even in the 14 playoff. They would try to finagle where Georgia wouldn't play Bama that first round if they could. If they had the argument, they wouldn't make the rematch happen right away. And this year they didn't avoid it at all. They set
Yeah.
up Ole Miss and Tulane. They set up Alabama and
Bama
Oklahoma,
OU, yeah.
and and until the Miami, not shock but slight shock, it was going to be A&M and Notre Dame. They were set up to have 3 rematches in the first round, three
Yeah.
of the
Well,
4 games.
and Ole
Maybe
Miss
that's why. Maybe
Georgia in
that's
the
why.
second round.
Yes.
I mean, maybe that's why they put Miami in over. I mean, over Notre Dame. They didn't want a rematch.
Uh, well, there shouldn't have been yeah. There shouldn't be the case of the rematch. I mean, you could y'all everybody can see the hat on my head. Obviously, I'm going to fight for A&M, but I think that's a pretty fair gripe to have, that you're ahead in all the metrics. You have the same record in the same conference. I didn't go off of too much of it last week, but I thought we got, for losing at Texas, who it was still ranked high, on the road in a rivalry game by 10, and if you were a third down stop away from having the ball to go possibly tie the game or take the lead, and they bumped us 4 spots that time. I thought that was a bit crazy already, but yeah,
The
I
the
think A&M got screwed. But I will back this up. I will back off of this and say, yes, it would be awesome to have a cupcake first round game. At some point, you got to beat the other teams anyway. It's a lot harder to win 4 of them, but you're going to have to beat good teams at some point. So I'm not going to sit here and whine. I'm not going to whine about that part, about getting the easier team. I just think we should have been 6 regardless because of the play and the metrics.
yeah, the one thing I would say that the committee could have been arguing was Ole Miss's one loss was on the road against the number 2, potentially 3 team in the country, and again, just the quality of loss. I'm not saying Texas is a bad football team by any means, but a loss to Georgia on the road is a better loss than a loss to Texas on the road, and that's the only thing that
Hmm.
they could say and argue about Ole Miss being ahead, because, like you said, everything else kind of points to Texas A&M. Like, you look at their, again, win against LSU on the road. Ole Miss, I mean, Ole Miss could have lost that game against LSU. They won by 5 at home, and A&M dominated that game. So I don't
No,
know.
I mean
Yeah,
that's no. I agree with you. The law, it's a better loss for Ole Miss than the loss to Texas. But
yeah,
now you're using more of an eye test,
yeah,
because the metrics again say that our body of work is better than Ole Miss's. But A&M, I can say it, A&M kind of sleepwalked home here. Lucky to escape South Carolina, Sanford, who gives a damn, and then you go and lose to Texas.
yeah,
So, but if you're gonna value the metrics, because you can't, they say that they don't use the eye test, they value what the computers say, but then you don't rank them accordingly.
yeah.
That loses credibility to me.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I don't know what these metrics are too, because
it is close, by
obviously,
the way. It's not like A&M's light years ahead of Ole Miss. It's
yeah,
very close, but we are
yeah,
ahead of them,
yeah,
which makes sense. You're 1 spot away, but when it's that close and we have the advantage, it makes all the sense in the world. Then it's not like we were having to jump up 3 spots. It's 1 spot here.
uh,
I'm avoiding saying the numbers, like, again, like the plague, because of that stupid
Yeah.
crap. But
no, but the one thing I will say too is I wonder how much the committee, obviously, they value Oklahoma a lot, and I would say that's probably Ole Miss's best win on their schedule.
it is their
Um,
best win.
Yeah, for sure. And then Texas A&M, their best win on their schedule is at Notre Dame. And so I wonder if that plays a part into it too, where they're saying we're leaving Notre Dame out. We don't think they're deserving of being a playoff team, and Ole Miss just went and beat a playoff team, and so that's another like dividing factor. I don't know, I don't know their thought process. Nobody knows. They're a bunch of old men sitting in a freaking ballroom in Dallas, but um, that would be the only argument, because again, like you said, if the metrics, if you actually have statistical data that are telling you that Texas A&M is ahead of Ole Miss, then that should be where it would go. But I don't know. Again, I don't know what their reasoning was, but it seems like they value Oklahoma a lot. And defensively, I agree. I think OU statistically is the best defense in the SEC. Like they're very good. Their offense is just absolutely atrocious, and
It's
they're not going to win
horrible.
And
anything
Yeah.
because of it.
they
Regular,
have to pray that
regular,
defense shows. I think Bama wins. I mean, I
dude.
still think Bama can go big.
Absolutely. I don't, dude. I mean,
Oklahoma's offense is beyond awful.
yeah. I mean, it's on par with LSU's offense.
Yeah, it's
We saw
it's
the
almost
game,
non-existent. It's almost non-existent. It's
and
very bad.
and we broke down the Alabama OU game a few weeks ago. Like Alabama had no business losing that game if you look at the statistics. And
It was
it's
just the turnovers.
it was turnovers and timely turnovers and field position turnovers. Like they'd get the ball with a 20-yard touchdown drive. Like it's if Alabama doesn't do that, I think they win by double digits, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what happens this week because I don't think OU scoring.
No.
No, because
So
they've slowly regressed throughout the year. So I don't see that all of a sudden changing just because you're
no,
hosting a playoff game.
agreed. But the committee is in love with OU. It seems like.
Yeah.
So
Well,
They're
that's
in
what
love with
sets up
whatever the
these
hell they
bad
want. I mean,
matchups. Yeah.
OU has a good resume. Don't get me wrong. I mean, OU
oh my,
deserves to be here. It's an amazing resume. Don't get that part twisted. Like,
agreed.
but congrats, you got here. You ain't winning jack nothing while you're here.
No, uh, it is a very impressive resume with that schedule that they had. Agreed, 100%. But I've watched a few Oklahoma games and Auburn got hosed at OU. Easily could have lost that game. If LSU could score a touchdown from the 4 yard line on first and goal instead of throwing a pick, I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, but I feel like they got kind of lucky in some games to be in this situation. It's not like they're a super dominant football team. They are on one side
No.
of the ball, but on the other side, it's just atrocious. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, they screwed A&M and they love OU. So you get to number 9. So Alabama goes and lays a dozen eggs in
Yeah,
the SEC championship game. No punishment whatsoever.
none.
BYU also goes against Tech, outmatched, outcoached, outclassed, everything. Beat them to sleep. BYU gets punished
Yeah,
because they get jumped by Miami because the rankings 1 week ago, BYU was ahead of Miami and Notre Dame was ahead of both of them.
Hmm.
So to me, this had to come down to I thought they were either going to put both Notre Dame and Miami in, or they should have left BYU in and Alabama in. I know that's not what they wanted to do. Obviously, that's the BYU probably would have lost the game as well. But if you're gonna say Bama doesn't get punished for getting trounced, how in the world can you punish BYU for getting trounced and get jumped by a
yeah,
team who was sitting at home on Saturday?
and
Well, I
and
mean,
that's
I
what I
even
was gonna
saw
say.
something too. I was gonna say I saw something where it showed every ranking the past however many years of one loss teams at the end of the year. The lowest ranking one loss team prior to this year was number 8. And so, and now all of a sudden BYU, throughout like the highest they ever got was 11. And I mean, they were at 7 when they were undefeated, lost to Tech, and that's well, obviously what dropped them. But then they never rose up after that. Like they just stayed exactly where they were at. So I mean, I know like I've talked about the FPI before, but I mean, according to their strength of record, I mean they were 6th in the nation strength of record. So again, we're talking about metrics, things like that. And it's what metrics are you going off of that determine where these teams land? I mean, if you go based on those types of those types of things, I mean, I feel like they should be ranked higher than 12 or wherever they ended up that got them the first team out.
Because if I'm BYU, I would go to the committee and say, what would happen if I just would have said no to playing this game? Like, what if I just said no? Like, what if I just sat at home? What would you do? I have one
Th-
loss. It's against your number 4 team.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do? Like that's
yes,
like at the end of the day, just don't play the game. Like don't play the conference championship game and make them make a
and if
decision and make them look
and
like
if
idiots. Like
if
that's
last week you thought BYU was better than Miami, which you obviously did because you ranked them ahead of them, how can Miami sitting at home on Saturday get them all magically better? Like that,
yep.
I hate that thought process 100%.
Yeah, it's
Now we'll have the Notre Dame Miami argument in a second, but I want to have the BYU one first because I think BYU got hosed using that type of thinking. You cannot
100%.
jump. You can't if you're not going to punish Bama for getting beaten to sleep. You cannot punish BYU for having the exact same outcome,
Agreed.
and they
yeah,
they, they did it. They did it without. I mean, without any reservation.
Yeah. It's yeah, if I'm BYU, I'm pretty pissed. At the end of the day, if you truly want the 12 best teams, then just say it and say we don't think that they're the 12 one of the 12 best teams. But like because on paper BYU is not.
Correct. I mean, and I'm not saying that they should be in because they're going to make noise. I'm just saying
No,
because of how you
based
do
on
everything
resume,
else. Yes,
absolutely.
because to your point, all that game did yesterday was hurt them. Now,
And
if they would have won it, yes, there was a lot of reward for it, but the risk they took was exactly what happened. They're going to, whatever bowl game that the Big 12 gets a team to. I don't know, what they ain't got nothing really.
and you know what? They're going to play in the game.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
As as
Even
as
though
all teams should, as all teams
even
should.
though even though they got hosed worse than Notre Dame did. But
Absolutely. That's the biggest crybaby move I've seen in a long time.
yeah.
Trying to strong arm in the college football playoff committee like if y'all are gonna leave us out, then we're not gonna complain some bowl game nobody's gonna watch anyway. Like, who gives a
yeah,
crap, man? Now, do they have a gripe? Yes and no. Because
Yeah.
you did play on the field, you did lose. The committee has said many times head to head matters. That part doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is for the last 6 damn weeks, you have consistently stated Notre Dame is a better football team than Miami. And you have realized we are backing ourselves into a corner because if they finish with the same record, we say head to head matters. So they have been slowly scratching and clawing, trying to get Miami ranked as close to Notre Dame as possible. So if this came to fruition, which it did, they would be able to justify putting Miami ahead of them. And that was just malpractice.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolute malpractice. And to justify it is impossible because you can't to me.
Which again, that goes to the point too, where we've said it on the show plenty, and we talk about it in our group chats with our friends. The rankings don't matter until this past one that happened today. Like it doesn't matter. Like this whole presentation on ESPN every Tuesday evening. Like it doesn't matter. Like you're just setting yourself up for situations like this. Like at the end of the day, that's what this is. Because if you're going to go do something like that where you're backing yourself into a corner and then having to switch at the last minute, why even release the rankings in the
yeah,
last 4 weeks? Like what's the point? Like there's no point of getting people's hopes up. Like Notre Dame said, they felt like they got the rug taken out from under them. Boo hoo,
Yes.
whatever. They did, and boo hoo to them. Like too bad. Go win the game at freaking Miami or join a freaking conference and try to get in like everybody else. But like, what's the point of these
The
rankings?
gripe is fair.
The gripe is
I,
fair
I,
because
I guess I have two points to that is I think the reason they have the rankings is for transparency. Because for them, it'd be much easier just to have the one today. But then
Yeah,
everybody would whine and complain like, well, y'all don't tell us what, yeah, y'all can do whatever y'all want at this point. So they do the early rankings for transparency, but then they screw themselves whenever they don't, they're not held accountable for everything they've been saying. You've been
yeah,
saying things week on week on week, end after end, and then when you get to this point, you just do what the hell you want anyway. So,
Hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna do what you did today, get rid of the rankings and just have them come out now, because you
yes,
still didn't explain yourself,
nope.
and you ended up coming down to head, which magically today was the most important thing, but it didn't matter the last 5 weeks, and you can't
Well, and
say it
going
matters
back to
today, and it didn't matter last week.
the point you made earlier, how it didn't matter until BYU lost, and then all of a sudden it did matter,
Yes,
like that, which is essentially what they said. So now you're going back to, okay, so the conference championship did hurt them then, which it shouldn't. It's not supposed to
yes,
do. So
because if
so
you
like
can say
what?
the
So
head
what
to
is
head
it?
mattered, yes, if head to head matters, you want to put Miami in front of Notre Dame. You know what? Fine, I'll buy that. You can't justify me how they jumped BYU. They sat at
Yeah,
home. BYU played a football game. I
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I know we talked about it kind of more towards the beginning of this podcast, but a 2014 playoff just eliminates this completely because you have auto bids. The top four, you can't
Yeah.
argue that. If you're in the top four in the SEC, you're in. You can't be like, oh well, they went on the road and lost at Miami. Like you can't do that. You're either top four in your conference or you're not. And if you get an at large bid somewhere else, good for you. But if you don't, too bad. You should have been in the top four in your conference. I don't know. I think that's how it should be, and there should just be automatic spots for everybody where you don't have some people just debating defensive efficiency and all kind of random statistics in a freaking ballroom. It's
That they
crazy.
don't even use
Yeah,
when it actually
they don't have.
matters.
Yeah, they don't even use it to begin with. So at the end of the day, they're just what are they doing? Eye test? Like,
Which they
come
say
on.
they don't value eye test because that brings in subjective thinking.
But
When
it's
you
already
have
subjective.
objective, yeah, because you have objective measures that you claim are so important, and then you still don't rank the team that's higher than the team ranked ahead of them. So
But you know it should matter the results on the field. So if you have auto qualifiers where you're the top four in your conference, the games on the field matter, and where you finish in your division or in your conference
yes,
matters. Just do
I
it that
agree.
way.
I
Take the
agree.
human element completely out of it. Wins and losses are the only thing that should matter. That's it. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter who you lose to, where you
which
lose them. Doesn't matter. Wins or losses. That's it. That's
which
it.
is why they did get the Miami and the Notre Dame thing correct to me. I just hate the way they went about it.
Absolutely.
It wasn't the final decision; it was the road to the decision.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm shocked they had the balls to do it,
Yeah.
to leave the Notre Dame brand out. I mean, I know they were put in a very tough situation, but I mean, I guess historically they're both big brands, but man, they actually had the balls to say Notre Dame, you've been squarely in, not anymore. So
Yeah.
I was actually surprised about that.
Yeah.
Well, I know
It's
it knocked
crazy.
us too when we made our picks at the beginning of the year, because that was one thing we said. We're like, Notre Dame's pretty much a lock. And I know we even talked about it. Is like
And
they're
we
not going
we
to kick Notre Dame out of the play. They're not going to kick them out of the rankings. Like there's no way. So for them to actually
and
turn
we
around
even
and
said
do
it like
it,
they can go and lose to Miami and A&M, and they'll go 10-2 and be fine.
yeah.
And that's
And
exactly what they did.
and most years they will be fine because this is just an odd year where there was too many teams for not enough spots. There's too many 10-2, somehow 11-1 teams that were going to get left out. But
So I
Maybe
wonder if
next
they
year.
ever have
yeah,
considered going back to like the, taking the human element out of it, going back to kind of like the BCS metric was. But then instead of a two
well,
team
that's the whole
playoff,
reason
now you're
we got
going
away from
to,
it, right?
yeah, like,
I think the whole
so,
reason we got away from it though too is because it was a two like it was two teams,
yeah.
right? And then they went to
Well,
four teams, and then that's when the
let's
human
also
element
not
started
get
coming
something
in.
else misconstrued here, guys. It ain't like these 12 old farts are sitting there grinding tape and watching every second of every game to really figure out which team is the best. They're letting the computer decide a lot of stuff. They're getting a spreadsheet and they're sitting there with their glasses just reading, uh, yeah, I
Really.
like this. They're not in the lab, really studying and watching and making their decision based off that. That's just not happening.
Dude, you didn't see they had TVs on in the ballroom, dude.
They all had the
Yeah.
same game on, right? They were all
Yeah.
watching the exact same thing.
I saw Barstool
So
Sports
funny.
made a comment. They're like, of course, the committee has the worst football watching setup in all of history. Oh
Just furthers the
man.
point there. Like it's just not. Yeah, it's a joke.
I guess we'll. Yeah.
Another joke. Another joke. Brian, you said it earlier, and I agree. The best first round matchup is Miami at Texas A&M,
Hmm.
11 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I
it's the
saw that.
11 o'clock kickoff, Lucas.
Yeah.
What?
We get Oklahoma, Alabama Friday night. We get we get A&M at Miami 11 o'clock Saturday. Ole Miss Tulane at 2:30, and James Madison Oregon at 7.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. They definitely did that though for TV purposes. No,
Why is that not the Friday night game? Ole
that
Miss
should
Tulane
be.
at 11. Ole Miss Tulane at 11, and then and then you do whatever you want with the other two. Oklahoma,
Yeah.
that flip it. I don't care. I mean, yes, selfishly, home playoff game at Kyle Field would be cinema, beautiful. But just for viewing and everything, like for those two, the first two games,
People are gonna be
I'm
checked
sure,
out.
huh?
People are gonna be checked out Saturday
Well,
afternoon
they're
and
checked it
Saturday
anyway.
evening.
But like the 2:30 slot is for Ole Miss to go beat Tulane by 3 touchdowns.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Yeah,
people are gonna watch Friday night and Saturday morning, and they're gonna check out because they're not gonna want to watch the 2:30
Yeah.
and
Because the
no,
seven
next
o'clock
two are
game.
nothing. Yeah.
and I understand you're not having Oregon play the 11 o'clock game because
Yeah.
it'd be 9 o'clock over
Nine
there. I
o'clock.
get that, but I'm sure there's probably some TV stuff I haven't. I do know that TNT subleased two of the games from ESPN, and I think part of that was then they were guaranteed to get the
A
two
night.
prime times. So all that means is that ESPN didn't want to give them the bigger brands. Like
Mm,
they were going to get prime time, but they were going to get the group of five. That's the only reason I can figure it out because you can't sit here in a normal world and tell me that A&M Miami should be the 11 o'clock kick. That's insane. It's
yeah.
absolutely insane. So yeah, that just sucks. That our Saturday evening first round playoff have to get those two games. Uh,
Damn, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. And then even the Friday night, like again, make that the James Madison Oregon game. I mean, it'll be that way. It's night still, but why is that Saturday prime time? I don't know. Like I said, I hated
Mm.
everything about all of it.
Yeah, because I mean, Kyle Field's still gonna get up at 11 a.m. for a playoff game, but getting up for an 11 a.m. game versus getting up for a 7 o'clock game, I mean, if you've ever been to a night game in the SEC, I think you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like it's just different. Like you don't have
Also,
near as
selfishly, we're not very good in 11 o'clock games, so I don't love that.
South Carolina am.
I don't love that. But
Yeah,
that's besides the point. For the viewing public, that game should have been a primetime
yeah,
game.
agreed. God,
They can
dude.
sleep throughout the day and then end the day on a high note. Yeah, that's crazy. We'll see, man.
Yeah.
So I guess let's make our pick. So who do y'all think's going to win the national championship?
I mean, I'm probably going to just go with the betting favorite and say Ohio State.
Yeah.
Um, I think Georgia has a shot, and
I think, I think Georgia's got a real shot.
yeah, but I think Ohio State's pissed off. They're going to come out pissed off after what happened last night, and probably run the
Yeah.
table and win. So
I mean, and it's very easy for us to say that because we saw this last year. We saw an offense come out flat against the Michigan team, and then come out and just torch everybody really on the way to a title. And that defense is even better. So
But I will say based on the way this year's gone, just with upsets and different like things that have happened, I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State gets bounced somewhere. Like it could
no,
happen. It could
no,
happen. Again, we talked about like their struggles offensively against evenly matched teams. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised, but if they lost, but I still think they're probably the best team in the country roster wise. So,
Yeah.
what do you think,
I would
Brian?
agree.
You,
Yeah, I mean, I
you
think
going
Ohio
Ohio
State's the
State?
favorite. I mean, I am interested in like that second round matchup. A&M beats Miami, like playing in the Cotton Bowl. Playing in Texas. A&M's going to be up for that.
True.
that
Closer
game,
geographically to the Cotton Bowl. Yeah,
that game would be in Texas.
yeah, it's Dallas Cowboy
Oh, I
Stadium.
love that.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So I
love
think
that. I
that
didn't realize it was
definitely,
gonna be the Cotton Bowl.
yeah. So that one will be good. Georgia's playing at
I mean, I'm not
home.
getting
I
I'm,
mean,
I'm not getting over
it's
my skis
yeah,
here. We got to win the first one, and
yeah,
that's not a guarantee at all. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think Ohio State and Georgia got. Well, I mean, I think Georgia got a good draw second round. I mean, they play in Atlanta second round for the Sugar
Yeah.
Bowl. Um, and then Indiana's got to go to California, and then the Orange Bowl. That's what Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tech will go to Miami.
Yeah.
So there'll be some interesting matchups. I mean, I'm excited about Texas Tech and Oregon. I think that's going to be a really good game in that round two. Uh, be a good gauge for both of
dude,
those teams.
Damn, that's in
that's gonna
L.A.
be
That'll be
n-
in Miami.
no,
Oh, that's in
no.
Miami.
And that game's already been scheduled for the 11 o'clock kick in Miami. That's a big ask for Oregon
On
That's
New Year's
true.
Day,
across the country. 11 o'clock kick. That's what their normal time. It's like
9 a.m. Yeah,
I mean 9 a.m. I mean
I don't do
that's
your
a
time
bit.
zones anymore.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's a
yeah.
that's a big ask. That's gonna be
Yeah.
tough.
It's gonna be some good games though.
I mean, yeah, it's still gonna be a fun playoff. There's gonna be a game or two that surprises us. I think. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It is interesting how we just watched Indiana beat Ohio State and number one team going in, and none of us really even mentioned them as like in the favorite discussion at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I know whenever we did the whole podcast where we asked about like, hey, who can win a national championship? I mean, I think we all were in agreement that Indiana could, um, and I mean, it proved it last night.
Yeah, it's just, but I mean, even Ohio State being the betting favorite
Yeah,
after the whole country just watched them, Indiana beat them, and
true.
not a fluke win. They beat them. I mean, granted, it's close, but
Yeah,
is it interesting how like everybody's still like, nope, I saw it with my own eyes, but I still don't believe it, kind of thing. Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
and I agree with that. I mean, I would say if they played again tomorrow, I would probably bet Ohio State again. Like I
yeah.
probably would, but it's interesting how all of our minds are geared to think that way.
I
It would
just
be
I
crazy to
definitely
see
don't
it happen
see.
again in the national championship.
Well, would they meet the Natty?
One
One
v
and two,
two.
yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Um, the one thing I will say too, I don't think we're gonna see all four teams who had buys lose again like we did
Absolutely
no,
last
not.
year. Like there's no
Absolutely not.
shot. And honestly, I I guess it's different too because the way they ranked it this year. But I don't know if any of them lose, to be honest.
What would the so
Like you said, Tech Oregon. I think Tech wins that in Miami. Like we said, 11 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, benefits Tech for sure.
Um, you got Indiana playing
Indiana and
probably either
Alabama or
Alabama
Oklahoma.
or OU.
Yeah,
I'm taking Indiana because
yeah.
Alabama can't run the ball, and we saw how good Indiana's defense was last night. Um, I mean, you have the Miami or A&M against Ohio State. I mean,
this is probably controversial, but because obviously the coach is gone and everything, but we did see. I agree. I think Georgia's playing different, but Ole Miss has played them and had them
that's
on the
true.
ropes.
That's true.
But
I
again,
think
you
I
don't
think
have your head
Georgia's a lot
coach.
better.
Better. I do agree with that. But we have seen it. I mean,
Yeah.
they were definitely in the game, and Ole Miss has the offense to put up points. And if Georgia has an off night,
Yeah,
but I'm kind of with you guys. I mean, I think of the four matchups, oddly
it's
enough, even
tough.
though I think, yeah, I think it is, but out of the four possible matchups, that one probably would be the most intriguing. Is if Chambliss just has another great game and uh, the kids play with a chip on their shoulder. You know,
Yeah.
hey, our coach is gone, but we still have something to play for. I'm sure that rally cry is going like crazy. So,
Yeah.
but
I
there
mean,
again, we get another matchup we've already had this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said though, like who knows what Ohio State's going to look like against Texas A&M either? Or I mean, I think A&M beats Miami,
Good,
but
they'll look
I mean,
good.
yeah, they're going to look good, but
Our, I mean, our we give up big plays, and they have the
but
ultimate big play guys.
yes, but has Ohio State faced an offense like Texas A&M's yet this season?
That depends
I
what
would.
offense shows up, Lucas.
I mean,
Because I also we are very streaky when we are on second half LSU, second half South Carolina. When that offense is clicking, tough, 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 tough. When I mean, if I'm any defensive coordinator, I'm dropping into zone and making Marcel replay quarterback.
yeah,
Because you watch Texas do it, big struggle. You know, just don't play man. Because when you play man against us, you
Casey
let
is gonna.
Craver and Concepcion get in space, bad things happen. When you play zone, keep everything in front of you, you kind of eliminate the big play, unless there's like a
Yeah,
fluke.
Mm,
And that's pretty much the recipe to beat us. There you go, Ohio State. There's free advice on how to beat A&M if we were able to make it
yeah.
there to the second round. I know none of you $1 million paid guys could figure that out, and my dumb ass down here could figure that out. So
I'll say I'm sure Matt Patricia had no idea.
yeah, he's not a good football coach or anything. So I'm
Yeah, he's
I'm
not a
glad I
Super
was
Bowl
able to
winning
give him the
defensive
recipe.
coordinator.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. That's why you play the game.
that's right.
Hey, we got to beat Miami first, boys. That ain't no
A-
cupcake either.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Dang.
Let's see.
I wish we didn't have a week of a break. I wish it just rolled right into it. Which,
What do you mean, man? Army Navy.
come on now.
Yeah, dude. It's America's game.
I honestly don't know if I've ever watched that game like fully, like from start to finish.
No, I
Yeah.
can 100% with certainty say I never have. I've turned it
Yeah, me
on.
too. Yeah, I've seen a
Oh
few
my
plays.
God.
You saw the pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I have
go run back. Go run back to your fiance, guy. Get out of here.
yeah, I have the Texans money line, so
Yeah.
There you go.
um but yeah, if there was a 2014 playoff, we'd have football this weekend, so just saying.
True. True that.
Just saying.
Just
Hmm.
saying.
Okay, Will, you're a basketball guy. Do you whenever March Madness is going on, do you watch the 1/16 matchup ever?
Sometimes, yeah, just
Yeah.
depends. But
There you go. There you go.
yeah, uh,
Same thing, and it'd just be football.
I hate all that though too. Like I hate the extra games. I hate they're talking expansion again and that. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because it's been the way my whole life. But like the 64 team playoff is just or 68 team whatever it is. It's perfect. It's perfect. Like March
Yeah.
Madness as it is currently constructed is the most beautiful thing we have in sports.
Yeah.
Specifically the first 2 days when it's just game after game
Just
after game.
chaos. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
what
I,
you're
I
saying
hate it.
is
I,
that
I would hate it in football. I
what
would
you're
hate it
saying
in
is that
football.
football should go to a 64 team playoff.
Absolutely
No,
not.
I
I think
I don't
24 is
I don't
perfect.
think I don't think I'll concede past 16. Like 16 is probably where I'll draw a line.
I think
Because now you're
24 is
just
perfect.
getting like now you're getting 8-4 Iowa in the playoff. Like get out of here with that crap. Houston would be in a playoff. Get out of here. Willie
Actually,
Fritz, great job.
wait, would Iowa be in?
Is Iowa not ranked or did I
No,
make that
not
up?
anymore.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not anymore. No.
I
Would
thought they were, but
Houston? I don't think Houston would either.
Iowa is 23.
Actually,
Houston's 21. Iowa's 23.
in the bracket that I saw, they're not in it.
Well, maybe it's because of the amount of teams that have to get in. I'm just looking at the top 24 ranked teams.
Houston is in. Iowa's not.
Okay, well, they probably, based off whatever metrics they're using as far as teams that have to get
I
in,
said,
maybe. Because I'm sure in a
yeah.
24 team playoff, they're going to get two G5s in, so that's probably why they're out.
This is based on the. I think this is based on the top four of each Power Four conference.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking at the top 24 teams ranked, and there's already two G5s, so I'm just counting them in. That's why I was like, oh, I was in, because they're
Yeah,
number 23. But that's disgusting.
I'd watch.
Yeah.
No, you would
Okay.
bet.
No, if like we were saying, if they do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'd watch because I'd rather watch this than a bowl game because it has meaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to a certain
Yeah, but
extent.
is the outcome going to be any different though? I mean, is it good? Is it
I
going to
don't
be
know.
quality football?
Iowa doesn't play
Maybe.
quality football, so no.
Hey, I was sometimes that offense breaks through against Minnesota. Who they played the other day that they put up a ton of points? Was it Nebraska?
Uh,
Yes, they
yes,
beat the
Nebraska.
brakes
Yeah.
off of them.
Yeah, but I think it would be. I mean, I would definitely watch it, and it'd be meaningful football. Would they
I
win a
mean,
national
looking at
title?
this,
Maybe not, but at least they have a shot. You know, like they have a chance. Like right
I
now,
say I
they don't
would
have,
say
even have a chance.
looking at this, like looking at the bracket you sent, the simulated. I mean, a majority of these would be good games. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like even like Utah, Michigan, um,
Yeah,
BYU, Houston. I mean, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, some of them would be.
Because how many times okay, how many times in the NFL has a team with that probably wasn't the best team at the beginning of the year won the Super Bowl? Like the New York Giants when they beat the Patriots that year. Like starting the playoffs, or you're like, oh yeah, the Giants are going to go into the wild card and make a run and go win the Super Bowl. No. And I think with NIL and how evenly spread out things are starting to become, you never know, man. Especially when other matchups happen in other places. Like on this side of the bracket, like if A&M goes and upsets Ohio State, like that's one of the big dogs out. You know what I mean? And if that happens, now the matchups are. I don't know. I think it would be great, and I think the results on the field would be determine a national champion, not some guys in a room arguing about who should be in.
True, but
Because
the results of the first 12 games you played dictate if you're allowed to get an invite to the dance.
yes, but I think there should be nuance in that to a certain degree. I feel like there should be more room for error rather than you have like again. I don't like using Texas because we get in arguments all the time, but Texas has an argument to be made, right? Like Texas, if Texas was in the playoff today, do I think they win a national championship? No. But I think they have upset potential against teams like Ohio State, which we saw week one. And they deserved the chance to at least try. Because there's even the top 24, you're not going to have a ton of four-loss teams just lining up from 18 to 24. Like there's a bunch of three-loss teams that are sitting in that situation. I
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say though, but if you go to a 16-team playoff, that solves the issue too.
Yeah, but then you still have the argument where there's other three-loss teams that are saying, "Hey, why are we not in a 16 team?"
I mean, right now,
Because
like
again, if you
you're
go, if you go, if you go, if you have 24 and you just take the top four teams of the Big Ten, top four teams of the SEC, put them in their auto, like there's no questioning on like, am I getting in or not? Like finish in the top four and you're in, kind of like the NFL in your division. If you win your division, you're in the playoffs. Simple as that. Like there's no there in the NFL, they're not going to be like, oh well, today the Bucks just lost to the Saints.
Yeah,
They're
that was
out.
awful.
That was a bad loss.
They
Let's get
should
them
be
out.
out.
yeah,
I mean, but then the
that
Bucks
whole
can go make the
division should be
playoffs and go
out.
win the Super Bowl. I know it's not going to
No.
happen, but like they get an opportunity to. They get a chance to. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just
And they get
looking at the
upset.
teams outside of the top 16. I mean, Arizona, Michigan, Virginia, Houston, Georgia Tech, Iowa, North Texas. I mean, do any of those have a
Yeah, but
legitimate
those
shot
are
of even upsetting anybody?
but they wouldn't all get in because of the automatic qualifiers.
But I know, but I'm just saying, like those are like hypothetically, like those are the teams that are outside looking in. I mean, realistically, are any of
Do
them
they have a
actually going to
chance to?
make a?
Would they have a chance to upset Ohio State? No. Would they have a chance to upset Alabama? Yeah, I think so. Do they have a chance to upset OU? Absolutely. OU can't score on anybody
But in your
on a neutral
scenario,
site.
Oklahoma would have a first round bye, so they probably wouldn't even see a lot of those teams.
They would, yes, have a first round bye. So they might see him
Yeah, but like
because
Alabama would face
it,
like Alabama would see like Iowa in the first round. I'm taking the
yeah,
under.
not if the Iowa offense that played against Nebraska plays. And I guarantee you,
Uh,
Alabama's not scoring on Iowa.
yeah, for sure. So what's have they set a new deadline for when they're gonna announce like the new outlook next year? Because I know originally it was December 1st and they pushed it back.
They do
Yeah,
whatever they want.
yeah,
Yeah, that that part's evident.
yes.
Well, that's
I
all I
guess we
got,
don't have
guys. I
games
got
to pick
anything
this
else?
week.
Army,
We'll
Army,
Navy,
we
Navy.
hold off till
Give
Navy.
me Navy.
Yeah, Navy.
go
All
Navy.
right, clean sweep, clean sweep.
Clean sweep. There we go. All right, well, that's all we got. Thanks everybody for liking or watching. Continue to like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends, tell your family. Had some technical issues with the app last week, so didn't get to post any TikToks. We'll be back on that this week, trying to work through all that stuff. We'll keep sending those out, so keep looking for those, keep sharing them. Tell your friends, tell your family. Other than that, we'll see you next week.
See ya.